Posture and body language are the silent storytellers of elegance and grace, and the women who carry themselves with poise are often remembered long before their words are. As we age, the body naturally shifts, but elegance isn't about resisting change. It's about embracing the stage of life with presence. Think about the first impression you leave when you walk into a room, before you even speak, the way you stand, the way your shoulders rest, the calm look on your face. All of that sends a message louder than words. When posture is upright and movements are intentional, it communicates self-respect, discipline, and confidence, qualities that never go out of style, no matter what age you are. The woman who slouches gives off signals of weariness and doubt, but the woman who lifts her head and holds her frame steady projects strength, assurance, and elegance, and this difference often decides how people respond to her presence. Carrying yourself with poise is not about stiffness or putting on a show. It is about finding balance between relaxation and attentiveness, creating an aura that is both welcoming and powerful. A gentle smile paired with aligned posture communicates warmth and openness, but without ever giving the impression of being careless or ungrounded. These small but deliberate adjustments become habits that build over time, allowing others to sense elegance the moment you step into their space. The beauty of posture is that it doesn't require age, wealth, or special training, but it requires intention, a daily choice to hold yourself with pride and dignity, even on ordinary days when no one is watching. Elegance in body language means moving with ease, walking as though you know where you are going, and standing as though you belong exactly where you are without apology or doubt. Posture is not just about the spine. It is about energy, about what you allow your body to project into the world. Think of how crossing arms too tightly or avoiding eye contact sends signals of retreat, while open hands and steady eyes show trust and clarity. These are signals picked up instantly by those around you, shaping how they treat you and how they perceive your confidence. A woman who makes eye contact without fear and holds her space with calm assurance communicates that she values herself and that she expects to be valued in return. Body language becomes a conversation in silence, telling others about your boundaries, your strength, and your grace without needing to explain a word. The elegance of posture also impacts how you feel within yourself, not just how others see you. When you straighten your back, open your chest, and align your body, you are literally giving your lungs more room to breathe and your mind more clarity to focus. There is science behind it, as proper posture reduces stress, increases oxygen flow, and gives you physical energy to face the day. Women who practice this habit daily feel more grounded, less anxious, and more aware of their surroundings. In this way, posture becomes not just a tool for appearance, but a practice for mental strength and emotional steadiness. Body language is also about slowing down enough to let your movements carry meaning. The way you extend a hand for a handshake, the way you set down a glass, the way you turn to listen when someone is speaking, all of these tiny acts build a sense of elegance. Quick, rushed movements show distraction and unease, while graceful, deliberate movements reveal patience, focus, and self-control. This isn't about being overly careful or dramatic. It is about being mindful of the energy you carry into the room and the effect you want to leave behind. By choosing elegance in movement, you remind yourself that dignity is found in the details. The power of posture and body language also extends to resilience, because even in difficult moments, how you carry yourself sets the tone for how others approach you. A woman who faces hardship with her head lifted and her frame steady creates a sense of courage, even if she is quietly fighting inside. People are drawn to that strength. They respect it, they lean into it, and it often inspires them to find the same resilience within themselves. Elegance is not about having a life without challenges. It is about showing through body language that you can face challenges without losing your sense of presence. This quality is magnetic because it reassures others and sets you apart as someone who handles life with grace. Every day is a chance to practice posture and body language until it becomes second nature. Whether walking into a room full of strangers, sitting at a dinner table, or simply going through the motions of an ordinary day, choosing to carry yourself with elegance is an act of self-respect. It signals to the world that you value yourself and the space you occupy, and it sets a standard for how others should engage with you. Over time, this practice becomes part of who you are, no longer something you put on for special occasions, but a natural extension of your confidence and wisdom. It becomes the quiet but undeniable mark of elegance that grows stronger with age and never fades away. Consistency in grooming and self-care is one of the strongest signals of elegance because it shows that you respect yourself enough to maintain standards regardless of the season of life you are in. And this is not about luxury or showing off, but about commitment to the basics that send a powerful message every single day. A woman who develops a steady rhythm with her skincare, her hair, her nails, and her personal hygiene does not have to rely on grand makeovers or special occasions to feel beautiful. She radiates a natural sense of order and grace that people notice without her even trying. When grooming is consistent, it becomes part of your identity. It reassures you that you are cared for by your own hands, and it eliminates the stress of scrambling to pull yourself together only when others are watching, because elegance is built in the small moments of preparation that happen quietly at home. Daily self-care routines are not about following the latest beauty fads or stocking up on endless products. They are about finding what works for your body and sticking with it faithfully day after day until the results speak louder than effort. Clean and healthy skin maintained through simple care, hair that looks intentional rather than neglected, and nails that are neat whether polished or natural, all show attention to detail that leaves an impression long before someone notices your clothing or accessories. The elegance here is consistency, not extravagance, and the message it sends is that you value yourself enough to prioritize the fundamentals no matter how busy life gets. The beauty of steady grooming habits is that they free you from insecurity because you are not relying on sudden fixes to feel confident. You have built confidence brick by brick through daily discipline. When you consistently take care of yourself, you remove doubt from your own mind about whether you look presentable, and that confidence shows up in how you walk, how you speak, and how you interact with others. Women who master this discipline understand that self-care is not vanity, it is preparation, and preparation is what makes elegance feel effortless. You are not spending energy worrying about how you look because you already know you took care of yourself before the day began. Self-care also extends beyond appearance into the routines that keep your body and mind balanced, because elegance is not only in what people see, but also in the energy you project. Drinking water, sleeping well, stretching, exercising in simple and sustainable ways. All of these small acts accumulate to create vitality that radiates outward, and people can sense it the moment they are around you. Neglecting these basics shows up in fatigue, stress, and irritability, but honoring them daily adds to your aura of calm presence, which is one of the deepest forms of elegance. Consistency is also what separates temporary effort from lifelong results, because anyone can look polished once in a while, but the woman who always takes care of herself, even in small, unseen ways, builds a reputation for timelessness. It is not about always being flawless, but about always being intentional, and that intention becomes part of your character. People may not be able to name exactly what it is about you that feels elegant, but they will sense it in the steadiness of your appearance, the way you seem prepared in every setting, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you did the work daily. Even in aging, consistency in self-care preserves dignity, because while trends fade and youthful beauty changes, habits of grooming keep you graceful at every stage. Simple choices like moisturizing daily, maintaining healthy hair, wearing subtle fragrance, and choosing clothing that is clean and well kept create an impression of care that transcends age. Elegance is not pretending to be younger, it is embracing who you are with attentiveness. And that attentiveness is most convincing when it is repeated, not performed. Others may see the glow on your skin or the shine in your hair, but what they are really seeing is discipline in action, the reward of consistency. Everyday self-care routines are investments that compound over time, much like savings that grow steadily, and the longer you remain faithful to them, the more they pay back in confidence, energy, and presence. The small daily choices to wash your face, hydrate, comb your hair, trim your nails, iron your clothes, or wear a fragrance that feels uniquely yours may seem unremarkable in the moment, but together they form the foundation of elegance that cannot be faked or rushed. These routines become your silent allies, always working in the background, always preparing you to step into the world not with stress or insecurity, but with assurance. And that is why consistency in grooming and self-care is the true mark of a woman who grows more elegant with age. Timeless style is one of the most defining marks of elegance because it creates an impression that is not tied to trends, seasons, or the latest fashion craze, but instead communicates stability, maturity, and authenticity. And as women age, the value of cultivating a wardrobe that reflects enduring taste becomes even more powerful. It is easy to chase what magazines or social media are pushing, but trends fade quickly and often leave behind clothing that looks outdated within months, while timeless pieces build a foundation that grows stronger and more versatile year after year. The woman who invests in well-tailored clothing, neutral tones, flattering cuts, and quality fabrics is never out of place because her look does not depend on being trendy. It depends on being intentional, and that is the real language of elegance. When people see her, they see someone who knows herself, someone who has refined her style into a signature rather than a collection of passing looks, and that clarity makes her presence unforgettable. Choosing timeless style is also about recognizing that elegance does not need to be loud or exaggerated to be noticed, because the most memorable looks are often the simplest. A crisp white shirt, a black dress that fits perfectly, a pair of well-made shoes, a piece of jewelry with meaning rather than mass appeal. These items tell a story of discipline and preference without requiring a long explanation. Style that is timeless whispers with quiet strength instead of shouting for attention. And that restraint is what makes people lean in rather than turn away. There is a maturity in not needing to constantly reinvent yourself through clothing, a confidence in standing firmly in a personal standard that communicates you know your worth and do not need approval from ever-changing fashion cycles. Timeless style also respects the body you have today rather than chasing the body you used to have or wish you had, because true elegance is found in clothes that fit well, not clothes that try to hide or force a shape that isn't there. Women who age gracefully learn to honor their bodies by choosing clothing that flatters rather than criticizes, fabrics that move with them rather than restrict them, and cuts that highlight their strengths instead of exaggerating flaws. This acceptance shows through in posture and energy, because when you are comfortable and confident in what you wear, you naturally move with more grace and ease. Clothing becomes not a disguise, but an extension of personality, and timeless style ensures that extension remains powerful at every stage of life. There is also wisdom in simplicity, and timeless style thrives on simplicity because every detail matters more when it is not hidden under clutter or distraction. A well-chosen handbag, a neatly pressed blouse, shoes that are polished and cared for, these little details create an overall impression that people associate with refinement. When a woman enters a room in timeless style, she doesn't have to say she values herself. Her choices say it for her, and the consistency of those choices builds a reputation that only grows stronger with time. Elegance is rarely about extravagance. It is about restraint, about knowing when enough is enough. And timeless style teaches you that discipline every single day. The beauty of timeless style is that it simplifies life while multiplying confidence, because instead of wasting energy on endless decisions about what to wear, you have built a collection of trusted pieces that always work. This consistency saves time, reduces stress, and creates reliability in how you present yourself to the world, which is a key part of elegance. When people know they can expect poise, neatness, and grace from you, they begin to associate your presence with those very qualities. And that trust is part of what makes timeless style so magnetic. You become known not for what is new, but for what is true to you, and that is far more powerful than fleeting admiration for an outfit that will be forgotten when the trend fades. Timeless style also reflects inner values because it shows that you prioritize quality over quantity, substance over flash, and depth over appearance. A well kept wardrobe of fewer but better items reveals a mindset of intentional living, a refusal to be swayed by every passing influence, and an awareness of what truly matters. These choices mirror how you handle life outside of fashion, signaling to others that you are steady, consistent, and not easily shaken. And that kind of inner steadiness is the very essence of elegance. People may not always notice the price or brand of what you wear, but they will always notice the care with which you present yourself, and timeless style ensures that care never goes unnoticed. As years pass, timeless style only becomes more powerful because it evolves with you rather than leaving you behind. It adapts to your wisdom, your experiences, and your sense of self without trying to erase or replace them. It allows you to walk into any space and feel both modern and classic, both grounded in the present and untouched by time, and that balance is what makes elegance last. The woman who embraces timeless style does not need to try hard to impress, because her presence already communicates assurance, discipline, and quiet strength, and those qualities never age, they only deepen, making her elegance unshakable in every season of her life. Speaking with calm clarity is one of the most powerful marks of elegance because words carry weight, not just in what is said, but in how they are delivered. And as women age, the ability to communicate with composure becomes a skill that elevates them far above those who speak without thought. When you speak slowly, deliberately, and with a steady tone, people lean in, they listen more closely, and they take your words more seriously because calmness conveys control and self-assurance in a way that volume never can. The woman who allows pauses to exist in conversation shows she is not rushed or insecure about silence. She owns her words and lets them land with intention, and that presence creates respect before the content of her message is even processed. Elegance in speech is not about using big words or long sentences. It is about measured delivery, about making clarity a priority and letting people feel the steadiness behind what you say. Speaking with calm clarity also means choosing words that are direct without being harsh, honest without being reckless, and thoughtful without being overly complicated, because elegance is found in balance. A woman who speaks this way does not waste energy filling space with unnecessary chatter. She knows the difference between speaking to connect and speaking to impress, and she chooses connection every time. The ability to edit your own words in real time, to cut away what doesn't need to be said, is a form of discipline that communicates wisdom and maturity. When you do speak, people recognize that your words have weight because you don't scatter them carelessly, and that is where the elegance of communication truly shows. Calm speech is also about tone, because tone carries emotion far louder than content, and a soft but steady voice communicates confidence more effectively than shouting ever will. When the voice is even, unshaken by nerves or anger, it communicates authority without intimidation, and it reassures others that they are in the presence of someone who has control of herself. People remember not just what you say, but how you made them feel, and when your tone leaves them feeling heard, respected, and grounded, that memory becomes part of your elegance. This is why women who cultivate calm clarity in their voices are often sought out for advice, leadership, and comfort, because their words bring steadiness in a world that often feels loud and chaotic. There is also a strong connection between clarity in speech and clarity in thought, because when you slow down and speak with intention, it shows that your mind is organized and focused. Women who age with elegance understand that rushing through words often reveals insecurity, while steady communication shows control of both thought and feeling. This kind of discipline requires practice, but over time it becomes second nature, and the result is that your speech not only communicates information, but also communicates your values, your presence, and your confidence, Elegance is not about speaking often, it is about speaking well, and calm clarity ensures that every word becomes a reflection of that standard. The power of calm clarity in communication also lies in the way it influences relationships, because people naturally feel safer and more respected in the presence of someone who listens fully and responds with measured thought. When a woman listens more than she speaks and replies with intentional words, she builds trust and authority at the same time, showing that she values the exchange rather than just the sound of her own voice. This skill creates stronger bonds in both personal and professional relationships because people know that when she speaks, it comes from a place of care and understanding rather than impulse. Elegance in communication is therefore not only about self-image, it is about the effect you have on others, and calm clarity ensures that effect is always uplifting and steady. Speaking with calm clarity also creates boundaries without aggression because you are able to say no firmly but respectfully, to disagree without disrespect, and to assert yourself without hostility. A woman who uses her words in this way does not need to raise her voice to defend herself. She does not need to argue endlessly to be heard because the calm assurance in her delivery communicates that she means what she says and will not waver. This ability to hold ground with grace is one of the clearest signs of maturity and strength, and it is also what makes others admire her elegance even when she is setting limits. People may resist loudness, but they respect clarity, and calm clarity in speech creates a balance that demands respect without ever demanding attention. As years go by, calm and clear communication only grows in value, because while appearances may change, the presence created by steady words remains timeless and unforgettable. Women who cultivate this skill age with authority and grace because their voices carry wisdom that is impossible to ignore and impossible to forget. They do not get lost in the noise of younger generations trying to prove themselves because they understand that elegance does not compete for space, it creates space. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to display not only intelligence but also restraint, and the elegance of calm clarity becomes a legacy that leaves lasting impressions wherever they go. Protecting energy with boundaries and balance is one of the most important daily practices for women who want to age with elegance, because without it, every other effort can be drained by the constant demands of people and situations that pull in too many directions. A woman who does not set boundaries often finds herself exhausted, resentful, and distracted, and those emotions show up in her presence, her tone, and even her appearance, making it impossible to project the calm elegance she desires. By contrast, the woman who has learned to say no when needed, to step back when her peace is threatened, and to prioritize the spaces and people that truly bring value to her life is able to protect the grace that others admire in her. Elegance is not simply about how you look or how you speak, it is about how you carry your energy. And boundaries are the filter that ensure your energy is not wasted on things that do not serve your growth. When a woman learns to protect her energy, she understands that it is not selfish but necessary, because balance is not something that happens by chance. It is something you create intentionally through choices. The ability to decide where to invest time and where to withdraw it is what allows her to maintain composure and presence even when life becomes chaotic. People often confuse being available for being kind, but the truth is that kindness without boundaries quickly becomes weakness, and women who age with elegance learn that their grace shines brighter when it is not stretched thin by overcommitment. Protecting energy allows them to remain present and calm in every interaction because they are not. Boundaries also communicate self-respect in a way words cannot, because they show that you value your time, your peace, and your priorities, and that message is instantly understood by others. When a woman calmly declines an invitation that does not align with her goals or refuses to entertain negativity and gossip, she is teaching the world how to treat her without raising her voice. This steady refusal to compromise on peace creates a shield of elegance that becomes part of her identity because people learn to respect her limits and admire the way she holds herself with quiet authority. Elegance thrives when energy is preserved for things that matter, and boundaries are the invisible lines that make that preservation possible. Balance is the natural companion of boundaries because it is not enough to say no to what drains you. You must also say yes to what restores you. Women who age with elegance know how to balance rest with productivity, solitude with connection, and seriousness with joy. And this rhythm is what keeps their energy steady. Balance is what allows them to show up fully in every moment without feeling pulled apart, because they have created a lifestyle that supports peace rather than chaos. This balance is not perfect every day, but it is practiced daily, and that consistency ensures that their presence remains calm, focused, and elegant no matter what pressures they face. Protecting energy with boundaries and balance also builds emotional resilience, because when you no longer allow yourself to be drained by unnecessary stress, you gain strength to handle the challenges that truly matter. Life will always bring difficulties, but when your energy is preserved, you can meet those difficulties with patience and composure instead of panic. The elegance of a woman who has mastered this is evident in the way she handles adversity. Because she does not collapse under pressure or lose her presence in conflict, she remains steady, clear, and intentional. Others notice this strength and are drawn to it because it is rare to find someone who is both firm and graceful in the way they manage their energy. The ability to protect energy is also a form of leadership because it shows others that it is possible to live with dignity without burning out or giving in to every demand. Women who set boundaries inspire others to do the same, and their elegance becomes contagious, teaching those around them that true strength is not found in overextension but in balance. By modeling this discipline, they create healthier relationships, stronger communities, and more peaceful environments, all while maintaining their own calm presence. Elegance in this sense becomes not only personal but influential, extending beyond the individual into the lives of everyone who interacts with her. As women grow older, the value of boundaries and balance only deepens because time becomes more precious and energy more valuable, and the ability to protect both is what ensures that their elegance never fades. Every choice to decline chaos, to prioritize peace, to nourish the body, and to care for the mind is a choice that preserves dignity and amplifies grace. Protecting energy becomes second nature, no longer a struggle but a way of life, and that life radiates elegance from the inside out. This quiet but unshakable discipline is what sets apart women who simply age from women who elevate as they age, because they understand that elegance is not only about what the world sees, but about what they themselves choose to protect.